Hello and welcome to Autonomous Frontiers. I'm Alex Clug, and in our opening episode we explored how surgical robots are revolutionizing healthcare. Today we rewind the clock to understand why I approach innovation the way I do. The answer begins in what most people would think to be an unlikely place, U.S. Army engineering units, where I spent time during my service. I don't think you need combat stories to appreciate how military discipline can translate to entrepreneurship. Instead, I'll highlight some specific principles, show how global companies apply them, and explain how they guided my own transition from soldier to CEO. Number 1. Mission clarity over job titles. In uniform, every task starts with a clear mission statement. Who, what, when, where, and even why. That 5-point checklist keeps entire brigades synchronized. Well, fast forward to business. Whether you're building medical robots, managing a fintech startup, or launching a consumer app, mission clarity still rules. Here's an industry example. When SpaceX declares, "Make life multiplanetary," engineers should better understand how something such as a new valve design contributes and fits into the company's overall strategy. So what's the takeaway? Publish one crisp sentence that aligns your teams, investors, and suppliers. So, for example, if a feature request doesn't fit that sentence, you may want to delay it. Number 2, you have principle of backward planning and wargaming. As I'm sure many people know, military operations commonly use backward planning. It's where you define the objective and mark the deadline, and then plan for there in reverse. Wargaming can then stress test those steps you defined. Here's an industry example. Toyota is known to perform pre-mortems as opposed to post-mortems. Teams imagine a failure, then back-plan to remove any weak links. It's the civilian cousin of wargaming and a driver of Toyota's legendary quality systems. And here's a takeaway example. Before you raise capital or file a patent, run a tabletop exercise. What if supply chains freeze? What if a regulator changes the rules? Address the what-ifs while they're still just low-cost sketches. And by the way, this will also better prepare you to answer those sometimes tough questions from potential investors. A third principle, discipline equals speed. Sounds a little contradictory sometimes. On the surface, discipline can feel slow. You have checklists, briefings, after-action reviews, etc. Paradoxically, that same rigor can accelerate execution because you are correcting issues early on. Here's an industry example. Amazon famously requires 6-pager memos before implementing any new initiatives. It looks bureaucratic, yet the ritual prevents fuzzy goals and lets teams move faster once approved. What's the takeaway? In high-consequence fields, think medical devices or aerospace, discipline is a growth lever, not a brake. Invest in structured reviews, you'll regain every minute during scale-up. Fourthly, you have logistics, the unseen differentiator. Armies succeed or not on their handling of logistics. It's repeated throughout history. Fuel, parts, medical evacuation routes, etc. Business can win the same way. A quick industry well-known example is Zara, the retail clothing chain. They turned fast fashion into a supply chain sport, restocking stores twice weekly while competitors could often take months. What's the MedTech angle on this one? Well, a surgical robot company isn't only a hardware innovator, it's also a logistics provider of instruments, service technicians, and training modules. Robust logistics shrink downtime and boost hospitals' return on investment, ROI. The takeaway, of course, is the importance of mapping every node from raw materials to customer support. Treat logistics as a core product feature. A fifth principle, continuous improvement through after-action reviews. I think most people are now familiar with how every Army operation ends with an after-action review. It is supposed to be rank-free and brutally honest. It has to be. People's lives are often at stake. What went well and what can we improve? Here's an industry example. Netflix is known to run postmortems after site outages and publishes them internally. That transparency helps keep failure rates low across the entire organization. And here's a startup playbook. make after-action reviews a standard part of your process. Then reward candid feedback, even from junior voices. Over time, the culture shifts from blame to systematic improvements. Principle number 6 is values, integrity and service. Military oaths emphasize integrity and service before self. In the boardroom, those values hopefully translate to 1. Transparent investor communications. 2. Products that genuinely improve lives, not just margins. And thirdly, leadership that mentors the next generation, interns, engineers, even future competitors. I strongly believe that sustainable organizations anchor on values first, metrics second. So now, putting it all together. Mission clarity sets direction. Backward planning de-risks strategy. Discipline drives speed. Logistics deliver. After action reviews refine. And values sustain. I think I'm going to repeat those because it's a lot of information in one single sentence. Mission clarity sets direction. Backward planning de-risks strategy. Discipline drives speed. Logistics deliver. After action reviews refine. And values sustain. These principles help me personally lead projects from concept stages to exit, such as a sale or NASDAQ listing, but they're universal. Whether you're a student building a prototype or a CFO eyeing global markets, soldier-tested frameworks can shorten your path to impact. Well, I hope you found this podcast informative. In my next episode, we'll shift gears and examine how funding strategies evolve from seed rounds to public markets, and doing so without losing mission focus. If you're enjoying the series, share it, rate it, and connect with me on LinkedIn. Until then, remember, strong fundamentals outlast flashy tactics. I'm Alex Clug, and you've been listening to Autonomous Frontiers. Talk to you soon.